Good morning, everyone. Or good early afternoon, everyone. T-Speaker 222 XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XLM and Future Digibite OG. So, guys, I wanted to do a quick update. We have nothing much happening, but what I can show you, and consistency, confluency, and guys, I'm not trying to give you this FUD. I'm not trying to give you clickbait, but when the technical targets are speaking to a lower number, I'm going to show you the technical targets. Would it make you feel better if I told you XRP is going to $10 tomorrow? I'm sure I'd get 10,000 views, but that's not the truth. If we're in a downward pattern, I have to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you we're going fucking up and we're going to crash. And the technical targets are speaking. So until the technical targets change what they're pointing to, too damn bad. I'm going to have to give you the crash news because that's what it's pointing to. And if you don't like that, well, maybe you're in the wrong damn place. So if you don't like the straightforward, no FUD, no bullshit, up to the minute, up to the date, well, goodbye, Nancy, because nobody wants you here. I want real people here who want to learn, who want to get ahead. So what we're looking at in Bitcoin is we might have a topping reversal that is starting right before our very eyes. Because if this pulls down, then this is the making of a topping reversal right in front of our very eyes. So the big thing we're watching is we're jump back in. Like we said, we jump back into this inside-out wedge. It's the reason why I create these. If you break it down into the 5 minute, we're absolutely trading between it. We're waving our flag now. So it looks like we're running out of steam, but we have to give it the proper time to play out this wedge now because it came into this inside out triangle. Now, a further point, a lot of people say that XRP has broke the pattern and it can go back. Now it's on an upward trend because it broke back out of the descending wedge, which is not true. The descending wedge, in order to break back and get back into a rising wedge, as we call it, you would have to break back up and get into my channel that I've already created days ago. You have to get back up there. That's created on the old resistance support lines, and you would have to get in there to get back up into that rising wedge. We're not even close to the rising wedge. In fact, we broke into the rising wedge on a wick and got heavily rejected right back down under the old resistance. Had we have broke up and stayed there, well, yeah, then we change our mind. We're riding the support line again with overhead resistance where we could bounce around, and that's a hell of a big channel compared to where we're at right now, and even worse when we're below it. So it's awesome to speculate, but until we get there, we're not there. In fact, we're 2 levels away right now. The best that we can hope for is what I've drawn. Even with no volume, you could get a spike like this because we're getting this. Now we're doing a sideways and up consolidation where it's starting to go like this. And what if we got a push like that? It would immediately come pushing back down, but what if we get a push like that? That's something that has to be considered. But until we get back into the rising wedge, we can't act like we're in a rising wedge. We fell out into a descending wedge, and we're trying to push out of the descending wedge into a central location. That's all we're doing right now. And that inside out is the median between the rising and the falling wedge. That's why it's there. That's why you can bounce, and I call it the inside-out triangle. You see how all this plays together now, ladies and gentlemen? That's why you keep the technicals in front of you. If somebody doesn't understand because they come on here for 2 seconds and they're like, man, this guy's a fucking moron, he's in the 30 minute. Well, stick around a little bit longer and I'll be in the weekly, or the 1 minute, or the daily, or the monthly. These numbers all play, guys. There's a reason why I do this. See this? See that support? That uptrending support? That simply becomes the rising wedge uptrending support. You see that resistance? The uptrending resistance that would have been there if this played in that wedge? That's simply the rising wedge. So until you get back into the rising wedge, cut the bullshit like the rest of YouTube. We're not in a rising wedge until we get back into the technical targets of a rising wedge. Period. So all this nonsense on YouTube about we broke the falling wedge, the hell we did. We're still in the falling wedge. How the hell did we break it? I mean, it makes no fucking sense what I watch. And then I have to see it in my comments sometimes. It drives me nuts. How about watch my technical analysis and understand what I'm saying? If it's going to go down, it's going to go down. That's not clickbait. Right now, the clickbait would be me saying we're going to $1.50. That's fucking clickbait. Not that it's going down to 75 motherfucking cents. That's the technical targets. And there's a second lower technical target to 65. So I'm just calling it the way it is. Actually, you're right. It's not 65. My God, I was wrong. I was wrong. It's not 65.5. It was actually 65.95. And it's not 73.6. Holy hell. It was actually 72.69. Man, I suck. But no, guys, that's exactly what's going on. So if you break back up into the rising wedge and you make a move, then you can do this. Yay! If you don't fall into the rising wedge and you stay down here, ladies and gentlemen, we'll overextend this so you can see exactly how this can go. You can do this. Hey, we broke into it. Yay! Oh boy, we're losing a lot every time. You know, and you better hope it bounces back up. Or we stay on the bottom side and oh shit, we're on run. Nope, in true on run fashion, we'd come down here. So that's what can happen, guys. We pop up into the rising wedge and we're all yay. We pop into the inside wedge and we're like, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. Or, no. That's how it goes, guys. So that's I mean, I don't know. I can't make it any clearer for you. So I hope you enjoyed it. This is about it's up to the minute, up to the date. And I actually like the way this is formed now because now, Tom, are we in the rising wedge? No, we are not. Are we in the falling wedge? Well, I mean, you know. Are we in the inside out? Well, we're not quite sure yet. Are we going to collapse? Well, it's kind of pointing to it. Are we going to have a big run? Well, if we get into the rising wedge. So, I mean, that's how close it is, guys. So, if you want me to make your decision for you when the breaking point's going to be, that's your apex. Pretty fucking soon. I'd expect it to be today, but it could be tomorrow, it could be next month, it could be next year because we don't know with manipulation. But according to where it's at, something's going to give here eventually. We're either going to pop into the rising wedge, we're going to start trading very sporadically within the inside-out triangle, or we're going to collapse downwards because we have no strength left and we're just going to roll over on this bearish continuation pattern. The decision is yours, but if you want to know why you should watch my ISO headquarters and make sure that motherfucking like button. And if you don't like what I just showed you, hit that motherfucking dislike button because you know what? You have an opinion and your opinion deserves to be heard. So I created an ISO 20022 migration, the inside look at the white papers, and it's 25 pages of information that I went through. If you don't know about the ISO, if you don't know about the implementation that's coming in, or if you just don't understand and you keep saying, well, I wish I knew about the ISO, I've created a whole channel dedicated to it. We picked up over 100 subscribers in the last 48 hours. It's up to like 316 subscribers now. It's crazy. It's only got 119 views on this video, but it's like 40% of the audience. So you need to check this out because this tells you all the players. It tells you the implementation. It tells you the timelines. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you a quick example of what I mean. So we come into here. And I want to go back towards the end because that's where the diagrams really start. So it tells you the euro, US dollar, and sterling regions to ISO. It tells you the implementation. It tells you the timelines. It tells you the player SWIFT, target, the Fedwire, the clearinghouse. It tells you when they go live. It tells you the exact time periods. We've got other diagrams where it's showing you all the players involved, when Switzerland is live, how the United Kingdom goes live in 2022, India's live. It tells you it all, guys. It tells you when whether they're to be determined or the exact year they're going to go live. So a lot of this is already implemented. It tells you the migration of global infrastructure, and it shows you every single detail. And I go through the exact white papers, so there's no more excuses. On my ISO headquarters, you will understand exactly what's going on. It tells you about the legacy changes that have already happened and what's to come in this current calendar year. It tells you what's going to happen in the future. It tells you phase 1, 2, 3, 4, the UK migration to the ISO. It tells you about where SWIFT stands and the changes and the different encoding. It tells you the implications of not being up to date and compliant. And basically how you can get with it or get the fuck out of the industry. You're no more you're not going to get any federal funding. This tells you the whole SWIFT MT versus the ISO 20022 format. And that's a big problem for a lot of companies if they're not going to invest this into it. Because if you're not with it, the government told you you're not getting any of our money. And then it goes into the Treasury, the CIB, GTB transaction processing, PCB transactions, the ancillaries, the central time project managers. It tells you the cross-divisional and the operating committees. You know, I went through every single thing on here. So make sure to give the ISO channel a follow so that you can no longer use the excuse that you don't know what the ISO means. Because I am giving you the inside look of the white papers on PDF that I downloaded some time ago, that I finally have a place to share it to each and every one of you. So go follow the ISO headquarters. No excuses.